A defining vote and a defining moment for MEP Peter Liese. Earlier this year, Parliament's Environment Committee voted through amendments to legislation on Europe's CO2 emissions trading system, in effect more broadly covering aviation emissions. But who is it who guides laws along the obstacle-strewn pathways of parliamentary procedure? Step up Mr. Liese as the rapporteur.
The rapporteur needs to create a united Parliament's position and then broker an agreement with the Council and Commission. You need, first of all, to know a lot on the file, so to understand what it's about. You need to listen to many, many people, also from outside the Parliament, from industry, environmental NGOs, other stakeholders, and then you need to work to bring people together.
So the rapporteur is a lead pitcher for MEPs and chief backstop for Parliament. But he or she is not alone. Stand up and be recognised the shadow rapporteur.
The rapporteur, him or herself, always of course represents one political group, and other political groups nominate the shadows to negotiate on behalf of their respective groups.
So that's the team, well balanced across the political groups. What's next? The rapporteur's raw material comes in the shape of a legislative proposal drawn up by the European Commission, a regulation or a directive. It's rarely perfect.
I've never experienced that I supported a Commission proposal just as it was presented. We always work on amendments and the final agreement is always different. In this case, it's completely different.
The biggest conflict was between the public interest to protect us from worsening climate change and the business interest of the airlines. They have been also very much lobbying European governments, so that European governments have been willing to weaken the current legislation.
Next stop after there's agreement between all the groups are negotiations with member states, a process known as trilogue, in which the rapporteur can find him or herself up against entrenched views.
We had a very strong position from the Council, not willing to accept any movement. Of course, we couldn't accept this. We are there to negotiate and not to just accept the Council's position. And in the end, they moved.
For the Socialist shadow rapporteur, Matthias Groote, there was a red line beyond which this file would not get his group's support, redirecting the money raised through the auction of CO2 aviation emissions.
We want an earmarking because we want to spend the money we collect from the emissions which were emitted by the aviation sector to fight climate change, for adaptation things and so on.
Mr. Liese acknowledges that because of the need for compromise inside and outside the Parliament, MEPs' legislative ambitions may be watered down. Nonetheless, he says, advances have been made step by step, and that's the way European politics work.